next part. In case you didn't know, this is Rob Allen. This is the director of Utah Youth Tennis. I'm just the managing director for Utah County. That's me, in case you didn't know.
No, Megan runs the show for sure. Yes, I'm Rob. I'm the founder and director of Utah Youth Tennis. Welcome, everybody. So great to see you all here. Thank you so much for agreeing to do this. Just a couple quick things I wanted to point out. Obviously, there's a ton of logistics to go over to make the season go well, but the most important thing is that you care about the kids, right, and care that they have a good experience. So if you're not having fun during the season, you're doing it wrong, and let us know how we can help, okay? Obviously, it's a job and we're paying you, and there'll be some things that you won't like, right? But we ultimately hope that this is a positive experience for you. So if you're struggling with anything at all, don't hesitate to reach out to your coach rep, to Megan or to me. Don't suffer in silence. We want to help. We've been doing this a long time. There's a reason why we keep coming back and keep doing this and keep expanding. We love to have the positive influence on the kids, to teach them the sport that we love, and it's just a great time. The first couple weeks can be really hectic. You know, the kids are figuring things out, the coach is figuring things out, the parents are figuring things out, the kids don't know what they're doing. But after those first couple weeks, you see those kids start to grow as players and as people. They start to build confidence in themselves, and they're actually playing tennis now, and it's just really rewarding. So thanks so much. Turn it back over to you.
Yay, Rob. Okay, great. Woo! Okay, welcome to, if you're already here, round 2 of training. If you just got here, this is great. In case you wanted to know, this was from, I can't remember if this is fall or spring, but this is one of our end of season tournaments. They're a big hit. They're super fun. Here's the schedule for the season. There is a big master schedule on the website, but next week, middle school, high school starts on Monday. Unless you're a boys team, then you start on Tuesday. Red ball starts on the 3rd, and adult lessons start on the 3rd. Okay, so next weekend. The following week is when elementary starts, so September 5th and 6th. And then we pretty much go till the end of October. So for middle school, you'll have 5 regular season matches. Elementary, you'll have 4 regular season matches. And then we'll have a bunch of end of season tournaments, okay? Last day of adult and red ball is August 22nd, October. And then October 29th is a makeup day if you get rained out or something. Okay.
So Megan, what about September 5th, Labor Day?
We still have things on Labor Day. It's not a holiday for us, so if you have something going on, you need to figure out if you can reschedule, or you can, if you don't have anyone after your practice, you can have your practice go longer. But you need to make up that practice if you're going to be gone. Okay? So we are still on for Labor Day. Good question. Okay, so if you're new or if you're not new, we have coach reps. You need to go on the website and see who your coach rep is. Make sure you check in with them. After you get your equipment today, they're going to be hounding you and checking to see if you filled out your W-9, your coach contract, if you've done your safe play, safe sport certification, and your background check, okay? So they're going to be hounding you until you get those done. Those should be done before your first day of practice. If not, it's not the end of the world, but you need to get them done as soon as you can, okay? They're your contact point for everything. So if it's raining, you contact them. If you need a friend, you can contact them. Okay. If you were at the last half hour or the last hour of training, we went over the coach's website. All the pertinent information is going to be on there. It's on Slack. It's just sometimes easier to see it on the website. So the match schedule and stuff like that is going to be on there. That's a super awesome basket. Okay. Make sure you go through the before season checklist. It's on the coach's handbook and it's also under the templates, okay? Make sure you're going through and checking that you are doing everything that you need to get ready for the season. Make sure you're on Slack. You should be on Utah Youth Tennis Slack, and your team Slacks. Okay, if you need help getting on, make sure you contact your coach rep. There's also Slack videos, templates. Literally everything that we talk about is on the website or on Slack. It's just easier to find it on our website. Okay? That's Matt out there in case you were wondering. This is me in case you're wondering. I won this tournament. It was so fun. Okay, moving on. Oh, Rob, it's you.
Okay. I gotta talk about disasters.
He gets the fun job.
All right. So, for insurance purposes, I'm required to go over this with you. Okay? Likely none of this will happen, but we're going to go over it anyway, so you're prepared. Okay, 3 different levels of injury. Level 3 is life-threatening. Who can give me an example of a life-threatening injury that could happen on a tennis court? Lightning, struck by lightning. Okay, what another one?
Fall, head trauma.
Okay, head, neck, back, serious trauma. Good. Any others? Stung by a bee if you're allergic. Yeah, allergic reaction. Right? Diabetic. Okay, that could happen. Cardiac arrest. Heart attack.
For the coach.
Yes, for the coach. Seizures. Choking. Yeah, there's a list right there. So you guys failed. The answers are already there.
You can go through them individually.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Well, I don't want to give them the answers.
Oh, sorry.
All right. First step. Life-threatening injury has happened. What's the first thing you do? No. No. The scene is safe. Assess the situation. Make sure nobody else is in immediate danger. You don't want to call 911. Hey, kid just got bit by a rattlesnake. Oh, and now another kid did. Oh, now another kid did. Right? Assess the scene. Make sure no one else is in immediate danger. And that the person who's injured is not in immediate danger as well. Only move them to get them out of a dangerous situation. Right? Okay, scene is safe. Now, step 2. Call 911. Okay? In a life-threatening situation, once you've assessed the scene quickly, you call 911 or you assign someone else to call 911. Okay? If you yell, someone call 911, what happens? Everyone assumes somebody else is doing it. Right? Okay. Step number 2. Or sorry, 3. Step number 3. No. We're not calling parent yet. We've called 911. This is a life-threatening situation. Yes. So if the person on the line tells you instructions, do that. Okay, 911. If you are certified in CPR or First Aid, you then begin to do that as needed. Okay? If you are not certified, run inside the school and find someone. Okay? Time is of the essence in a life-threatening situation. Okay? They need care immediately. If you are not certified and want to get certified, you can, and we will reimburse you for that. Okay? We don't require our coaches to be certified, but if you want to, we will reimburse you for that. Okay? But check with us first. We know the best places to get it cheap. Don't like, hey, my cousin is certified instructor and I paid him $300 and he got me certified. Don't do that. Okay? All right, CPR/First Aid. Someone in the school is certified. Okay? Yes?
Do you remember how long the certification is good for when it expires?
2 years.
2 years, not very long.
Yes. 2 years. If you feel like you know what you're doing, you are taking the situation into your own hands. You are no longer a representative of UYT at that point, because our official policy is if you are not certified, go find someone who is. Okay? I'm not going to fault you necessarily if you try to give CPR to someone who needs it and you don't necessarily know what you're doing, but you remembered 10 years ago you took a class. okay? But you've now taken that into your own hands at that point. Okay? Yes, question.
Do the schools have ADs?
Yes, they do.
And do we have access to the schools? Like I'm thinking my middle school team's going to go to like 5:30. Is anyone there?
I don't know. It's likely someone will be there trying to find an open door, and that might be an issue. But
Even during school hours or right after school hours, do you even get into schools? Don't they lock all the doors always?
A lot of times the front office,
there'll be access to the front office until the front office closes.
but other than that, like that's something that you should for sure keep like check probably, like in the first few like practices, like hey, like, I just want to see if like we can come in here or not.
Did you discuss, Megan, our relationship with the schools?
Oh, I didn't.
Okay, I'll do that real quick. So we're not sponsored by the school district. You're not district employees. We're not sanctioned by the schools. For the most part, they like us because we do a good thing for their students. The only relationship, contractual relationship that we have with them is that we rent the courts from them, right? Otherwise, they have no supervision over you and your program. With that said, they're still people and they still have hearts and care. So if there's a life-threatening situation, someone in there is certified to help. Okay. All right. Okay. Once you've called 911, CPR First Aid has been being done, and now the paramedics are at the scene. Then, what do? Call the parents, okay? Let them know what's going on. Once you've let the parents know, I want you to call me, okay? You can find me on Slack. You can call me straight through the Slack, or you can find my phone number on Slack. And then in your coach's handbook, there's an incident report that you need to fill out, okay? You then give that to me. I give it to our insurance company, and then we wait for the lawsuits. Okay. Next, level 2. Level 2 injury. These are serious injury. Not life-threatening, but serious. What are some examples of serious injuries that could happen on a tennis court? Broken bone. Ligament tear. Sprained ankle. Yes, well, heat stroke might be life-threatening. Heat exhaustion, concussion. Okay, depending on the level of head trauma. Okay? All right, yes, these are serious injury. This is not rub some dirt in it and get back on the court, but they're also not, you could die at any moment, right? Step 1 in a level 2 incident. Yes, it's the same. Assess the scene. Make sure nobody else is in immediate danger, right? Again, kid got whacked in the head by a racket. Stop that kid from swinging his racket first, right? Okay. Situation is safe. Step 2. Good idea, but don't call 911. No. Serious injury, we're going to call who? The parents. We're going to call the parent. We're going to let the parent decide what they want to do with their kid at that point. Okay, if they want to take them to the hospital, they can pay for that ambulance ride, right? And they can choose to do that. What we don't want is, hey, mom and dad, ambulance is taking Billy over to the hospital because he sprained his ankle. By the way, you're going to get a $2,000 bill for that, right? We don't want that. So, serious injury, scene is safe, call the parent. Hey, mom, Billy twisted his ankle. He's crying. He's in a lot of pain right now. we need you to come and get him so that I can take care of the rest of the kids, and you can decide what you want to do. Okay? If it's a kid who like stubs his toe every practice so he can just go sit over on the side because his mom is making him be there, you can be like, all right, if you don't want to play, that's okay. You get to pick up all the balls that the kids hit. And then all of a sudden their toe feels better. Okay. Provide first aid as needed. First aid in this instance could be like ice or wrap. What about like ibuprofen or Tylenol? No. Do we ever give a kid medicine? Not unless instructed by a paramedic, right? Like an EpiPen or something. If they need medication, have the parent come and give it to them, right? What if it's like it's the state championship match and their elbow's killing them and you just want to give them 4 ibuprofen? No. Maybe that will help and the parent can decide to do that. You can maybe even, I wouldn't go as far to say officially recommend to the parent that they do that. But again, we don't touch kids and their medication, okay? And we don't touch kids too. Yes, question. Good. Yeah. So that actually happened to me once. I was in St. George with my high school team, and a girl, they come run to my room, knock on the door. This is like at 6 in the morning, and they're like, I'll call her Susan. Her name wasn't Susan, but Susan is having a seizure. And so I'm like, okay, I quickly run over to their room. And at this point, she wasn't seizing anymore. She was sitting up, but she was like totally out of it. She had no, like, I was trying to talk to her. She's like, bleh. And I'm like, okay, what do I do here? So I called the parents. They didn't answer. So at this point, I'm like, well, better safe than sorry. And I called 911, and the ambulance came. It turns out she was had seizures before in the past, and playing tennis all day the day before in the heat, was dehydrated and staying up all night with the girls in her room. So if the parents had answered, I'd talked to them about this after, they wouldn't have had me call 911, but they were still glad that I did when I wasn't able to get a hold of them because I didn't know the whole story and that she had a history of seizures. Yeah?
Do coaches get any kind of background information like that? Like, do we know if there's a chance?
Yes, on your roster, there's a place where parents can add medications and health history. So if they have an issue like that, like I remember seeing a few like allergic to peanuts or something. But that information should be there. Good question. Did I answer yours? Okay. Yeah. If you can't get a hold of the parents and you're feeling like this is borderline, life-threatening, then better safe than sorry, right? Okay. Closely monitor the situation to make sure that it doesn't escalate to a level 3. Okay. So like a kid is saying his stomach hurts, right? And you're like, okay, go sit over here. And then he like vomits and then passes out. Okay, we might need to reassess what's happening here. So still, you need to focus on the rest of your team. You can't spend your whole time taking care of this kid with a sprained ankle, right? You have other kids who need your supervision. That's why we want the parents to come in and take care of this kid as soon as possible. But you also need to continue to monitor that child, okay? And then fill out an incident report and give it to me. Okay, let me know what happened. Questions about level 2? All right, level 1. Level 1, minor injury. What's an example of minor injury that could happen on a tennis court? Court burn, sliding. Yeah, we don't slide in tennis except on our shoes. What else? Okay, minor sprain, yeah. Minor dehydration. Bloody nose. Stubbing your toe. Okay. For level 1, again, step 1 is discern that the scene is safe. Okay. Who do we call in level 1? Nobody. Right? Level 1, we let the player decide what they want to do. Okay? Do you want to just sit out for a minute? Do you want to call your parents? Do you want to keep playing? Right? Continue to monitor the player, make sure it doesn't get worse. And then you don't need to file an incident report for level 1.
So sometimes they may insist that they want to keep playing. I usually have them sit out. If they're feeling like really sick, rather than compound it, and some are very competitive, and I just have them sit out for a while, and let's see how you do.
Yeah, that's a way. That's definitely an option. How you can deal with that. Yeah, you're gonna have to discern, obviously, the level of seriousness of the incident, of what's happening. But the general standard is, for level 1, if it's not a serious injury, if the kid wants to call their parents, they can call their parents, right? You can't stop them from doing that. If they want to keep playing and you don't feel like that's a problem, you might need to educate. If you feel like, you just rolled your ankle, like, let's have you just maybe stand over there and see if you can walk it off for a little bit before we get you playing again. But, yeah.
The box that you were in.
Yes.
Okay, remember, we're going to cruise so we can get to our groups. But with weather and rain, you need to make sure that you're contacting your coach rep. You can't cancel without talking to them first. Official policy is you need to wait until an hour before practice before making the decision. So if I were you, I would let parents know at the beginning of the season that if there ever is bad weather, that you're going to let them know an hour beforehand what the call is going to be. You cannot cancel practice if it is still dry on your courts an hour before, even if it says like 70% chance of rain, okay? That's just because we don't want people canceling prematurely, because it's really hard to reschedule practices because we have lots of teams and lots of court, or not that much court space, okay? These are some matches that we played anyways. So, and this is my team picture one year. You can cancel, like if it's raining, it's an hour before it is raining and the weather app doesn't look like it's going to stop raining, or if the courts don't look like they're going to be dry within an hour because the sun's not going to come out, you can cancel as long as you talk to your coach rep. Canceled practices need to be made up, so you need to find the time to reschedule. Cassie is the person you need to check with. Cassie Kidd, you can message her on Slack. She's the one that you need to check with to see if anyone is using the courts at the time that you picked, okay? Because we have a lot of teams, okay? And she's going to know the schedule of all the courts, so she should be able to tell you if they're available. Same thing with matches. Matches, you reschedule for the next practice time. So if I'm a boys team, my match is canceled on Friday, I'm going to play on Tuesday at the same location, okay? But I need to make up that practice that now was skipped, okay? Sometimes if the girls team is really small, I'll ask the girls team coach if I can practice at the same time with them and use half the courts. Or I'll just ask Cassie, I'll be like, is anyone using them after the girls practice tomorrow? Or if I don't have anyone after me, I can extend my practices like a half hour, 2 or 3 days in a row. So there's a lot of different options you can do. Make sure you check the coaching tips channel for coaching stuff if you have ideas. Did you have a question, Hyam? Okay. We moved on? Okay. Oh, make sure you take pictures. We love pictures. I love pictures. It's my favorite part of the season. Make me happy. Take pictures and post them in our, there's like a little channel in Slack you can post them, and it's my favorite part of Slack. You should already know how to do an inter-team match. If you don't, read the coach's handbook and talk with your coach rep. Weekly report, make sure you fill it in by Saturday at 8. Sage will be sending those out soon. Read through the coach's handbook if you have not already. If you're a returning coach, read through it again. You need a refresher. Make sure that you plan for a team party at the end of the season, okay? So coaches and assistants are paid for an hour and a half of team party-ness. You are not reimbursed, though, for anything you pay for, so convince your parents that they want to pay for pizza. We are subbing. You can talk with your coach about, okay, we're going to grab equipment, but not till 7. So we're going to cruise here. Oh, that's Rob. We love Rob. Okay, have a great season. Return equipment when you're done. Okay, now we're going to break into groups. So find your name.